What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another SLA video. Folks, we got ourselves some amazing leaks. Now, before I even start with these leaks, I want a big shout out to Alpha, of course, for providing all of this stuff. I think it's him that actually provided this. And I believe Zaf already covered it this morning. I was with my kids, so I apologize I didn't. But this is interesting because there was a fan art that came out a while ago, right? If you guys don't know what I'm referring to, it is revolving around Igris. A fan art came out a while ago depicting what Igris would look like without a mask and what we should expect when we see Igris. Well, guess what, guys? Looks like the fan art might have been correct all along. So let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. This was the fan art that was released. I made a video on this, or a post on this like a while ago, just being like, hey, Igris looks really badass like this. And if this is real, we're looking at Igris looking exactly the same in the game. Look at this. Long hair. What a strapping lad. What a good looking lad. Now, if you guys missed out on some of these other things, we're going to talk more about it. So shout out to Alpha again for putting these up. And shout out to Zaf for doing the video. I'm actually taking this from Zaf's video. Not going to lie to you guys. But hey, we got to cover it. We got a different audience sometimes. So it's good to show everybody what's going on. So again, shout out to both those guys. But this looks absolutely gorgeous because this is literally depicting what the fan art said. Now, I remember somebody said this was fan art originally because I think it was the author or whoever didn't actually put this together, or the illustrator. So we do have Igris's look and feel. I'm not gonna lie, I love the design. Now, a couple things to remember about Igris if you did not watch the previous video about him is the fact that his elemental change will impact the way people want to pull for him or not. And before we go into that in a little more detail, I want to remind everybody, guys, Content Creator Program is back on for Season 14. Click that support button. It's absolutely free to do, and I'll be sending you guys codes in the next few weeks. Also, if you have not joined the Discord, it's in every single description and video. Click on that. We are doing giveaways. If you can prove that you're a supporter in the Discord, you're eligible to win a $100 gift card. Top 100 is eligible for $150, and my top number one again will get themselves $200 every single season. So again, thank you guys for supporting. Big shout out to Deeps, BW Panda 0719, Dan Burrito 5612, Bad Rasta, Part Vader, Jsto 0842, and Bond. Love you guys, and thank you for everybody else who's been supporting all the way to the top or bottom, 2,244. All right, guys, so Igris. Now, here's the question, right? And this is what's been on everybody's mind. Now, we know, and I've seen the comments, but guys, I've been reading your comments. I promise. I may not always reply anymore. I'm trying to be off my phone a little bit more, spend more time with my kids and my family rather than being on Discord 24/7 and answering questions. I hear you guys. Many of you guys made it loud and clear that if Igris is not going to be a dark shadow or a dark element, you guys are planning to quit. The newest leaks obviously show him as a windbreaker. Now, do we need a windbreaker? Obviously not. Goto, as mentioned before in my previous video, is still, no pun intended, the GOAT for this game, in my opinion, as a breaker. I always put him a little bit behind Soren in most cases, but honestly, if we're going to be real, he's still probably the best breaker in the game, and I will continue to support that and say that as long as he exists. Do we need a new one? No, we don't. Sorry, I'm doing this real quick while we're working on this. And the reason why I say this is because honestly, Goto does everything a breaker needs him to do. He buffs, he breaks quickly, he does great damage, and not to mention, on top of the great damage, he's just overall a badass character with HP base. So does Igris need to be in there? Probably not for Wind. And quite honestly, I feel like if they do add a breaker for Wind, this time around, we're probably going to see a attack breaker, and I'm honestly not a big fan of attack breakers personally. Now, with the new elemental what's it called again, infusion, this may be a whole different story, right? Because even though everybody can technically do elemental infusion, there's going to be characters out there that are going to be built for it specifically. So we may see Igris do what Christopher Reed does for his element, which I believe is going to end up being fire. We may see a wind elemental fusion, part breaker, part DPS, part over attribute infusion kind of character. So, or elemental infusion. Sorry, I keep saying attribute. So we may end up seeing, guys, something like that where Igris may play more than one hat. It looks like the game is starting to do that more often now, where they're starting to say, hey, you know what? These characters are going to play this role while this character plays that, versus now what's been happening is that everybody's playing more than one role, which is very, very good for the game because it now allows us to build more variety and allows us to play a little bit more less selectively, less meta, right? And which is a very, very good thing for the game, because that's what you want. You want the game to kind of just be like, hey, you know what, guys, we're gonna give you guys X and Y character, and you guys don't have to use this. You guys can use any character you want in this case. But the problem, of course, is the fact that this brand new build that's coming out with the whole elemental infusion is going to make the newer characters a lot more sought after, because I feel like they're going to be built around that versus the existing characters, which will have the kit built in, but not quite as big. So that's the look and feel of Igris, guys. Now, personally, I really hope the leaks are wrong. We definitely need a new breaker for a lot of other elements. Like, if we look at the elements that currently exist, Goga and Heat is super old. We're talking about 5-month anniversary, not 5-month anniversary, but 5 months into the game, maybe even 4. You know, if I'm doing this correctly, it's within that time frame, right before Thomas, if I recall. And then, of course, we have ourselves Harper, which also came out, I want to say 7 months, at the same time as she was the first character actually to come out during the Baron age, right? So like, she's also really, really far behind. Fire does not need a breaker. We have got plenty. Wind just has Goto. Water has a great breaker. So we definitely do need light and dark to kind of get replaced. And you know what? I will say this before, and I've said it again, the devs do like to throw in a wrench in people's sockets, like to make them kind of like, you know, they do it kind of on purpose, right? Where they're like, you know, we're gonna make you guys think this is happening, but in reality, you know, these files are in there to trick you, so you guys are, you know, off our scent. And Igris is a big enough character where I could see them kind of doing that and kind of making false assets in there to kind of trick folks. But honestly, it could also be correct. So we might end up seeing another wind unit, and if that's the case, you're probably gonna want to start building wind up again. So in my case specifically, like, I've been holding on to this for quite some time, and I haven't used it because I'm like, I don't know if wind is going to come back for a while or not. But if wind is in fact going to be coming back, then right here, this celebration hunter selection ticket is definitely going to end up being Leonard. And I believe I have another one in here. Where is he? I thought this one. Yeah, look, in this one here. So I can technically get 2 more Leonards under my belt here. And then honestly, for the draw, this may also change the way I start drawing things. Right now I have Leonard and Jenna here. I might end up keeping them here and then replacing, like, you know, the other things that I don't need. So keep in mind, guys, this can change at any point in time. I'm currently not planning to use this until I have completed you know, reviewing everything when he comes out. If he is in fact going to be wind, and if the wind element, it becomes superior again, I don't think we're going to see a replacement for Leonard for some time. So he still might be pretty good. And I don't think we're going to see a Jinna replacement for quite some time either. So I feel like those two are going to be safe bets to kind of build on. And if Igris is in fact going to be an OP breaker with like the elemental infusion overdrive or whatever it's called, then I feel like he's going to be a no-brainer to go for. But there you guys go. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think the fan art did it justice? Do you think he should have looked any different? I think personally this is a fantastic looking fan art. And then when they finally decided to take that and make that canon, I mean, I don't know how canon it really is. It's in a game. I think this was the right choice. If Igris takes off his helmet and he was human, this is the Igris I would want to see. The red eyes, the long locks, the silver hair. Reminds me, if you ever play Chrono Trigger, the greatest game of all time. I know some of you youngins don't even know what the hell that is because it's in Sprite. Reminds me a little bit of Magus, my favorite character ever made from a Square game. So shout out to the devs if they do make this canon. Shout out to Netmarble for bringing this in. I think the what if characters are phenomenal, and Laura even fits that role, even though I didn't pull for her on my free to play. And I think that Igris is going to be a great addition, but please make the element correct, because that's all we really want to see. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.